If ever an animal defined horror, it would be bats. Looking a lot like flying rats, they have scared the crud out of me my entire life. Today, we're going to take a look at some bat weird on today's episode of 5 Weird Things. Welcome to the channel. You know, when I was a kid, a bat in a vacation rental in the mountains and 45 minutes of sheer terror left me with a lifelong aversion to bats. What caused your fear of bats? Tell me down in the comments. And if you say you aren't afraid of bats, I'm going to assume you're lying. First, the things we should all know. A bat is a flying mammal, typically characterized by its leathery wings. There are over 1,400 species of bats, making them the second most diverse order of mammals after rodents. Bats are found worldwide, except in extreme deserts and polar regions. They play a crucial role in the ecosystem by consuming insects, pollinating flowers, and dispersing seeds. Weird thing number 5. They eat everything. Some bats eat only insects. Others feed on fruits, nectar, or even blood, like vampire bats. There are over 1,400 species of bats, and each species has its own unique dietary preference. Now, bats have shown the flexibility to change their dietary habits to match changes in their habitat. Weird thing number 4. They live how long? Despite their small size, some bats have shockingly long lifespans. Certain species can live more than 30 years, which is unbelievable for an animal of that size. Many bat species have a relatively slow reproduction rate, and they often take time to reach sexual maturity. This delayed sexual maturity contributes to their longer lifespans. Some bats may not start reproducing until they're a few years old, and the interval between births can be relatively long. Weird thing number 3. Bats really do see in the dark. Most bats use echolocation for navigating and hunting. They emit high-frequency sound waves and listen to the echoes to determine the location, size, and shape of objects in their environment. Bats have specialized retinas in their eyes that are adapted to low-light conditions. The visual adaptation allows them to make use of available ambient light during the night, enhancing their overall ability to perceive their surroundings. Weird thing number 2. They are the only mammals capable of true flight. Bats are the only mammals capable of sustained flight. Their wings are adapted hands with elongated fingers covered by a thin membrane of skin. Unlike birds with rigid wings, bats have a highly flexible wing structure. The bones in a bat's wing are similar to those in a human hand, with elongated fingers covered by a thin membrane of skin. This flexibility allows bats to change the shape of their wings during flight, adapting to different flight conditions. Bats engage in a powered flight, meaning that they actively flap their wings to generate lift and thrust. And finally, weird thing number 1. Bats breed on their own unique schedule. Some bat species exhibit a reproductive strategy known as delayed fertilization. After mating, female bats have the ability to store the sperm for an extended period before fertilization occurs. This allows them to time the release of eggs and increase the chances of successful reproduction, often synchronizing with optimal environmental conditions. In maternity colonies, where female bats gather to give birth and raise their pups, many species exhibit synchronous births. This means that a large number of the females within the colony give birth to their pups around the same time. This synchronized birthing pattern may help in overwhelming predators and ensuring the survival of the bat pups. Well, that's it for today's episode. I hope you liked it. Couldn't care less if you didn't. Either way, help me out. Leave a comment below. Today's code word is echo. Leave that in the comments to both help me and get some good Irish karma. Take care. Have a great night.